Today, I have Zach Jones, our UCOFW correspondent here, and we're going to just recap a serious issue that really plagues our community. It's about police awareness in our community and the need of more police presence in our community, and we're kind of going to focus this commentary behind the recent murders in the Cleveland community in Ohio, where the convicted rapist Anthony Sowell, he was convicted. Well, he hasn't been convicted yet, but I guess they found 10 or 11 dead bodies in his house, in which there were 5 that were buried in his back house. And I guess the biggest problem I have with this is how, so many times, people always say, well, people should be more involved in their community, and there should be more community activism in their, communities and stuff like that. But when you try to do that, you're not being taken serious and stuff like that by your local police department. And I think this was one of those situations where this was kind of swept under the rug, and it shouldn't even gotten to that point. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, the big main thing is that one, you have a convicted sex offender. He's on house arrest or he's on probation. So number one, I'm just going to lay this out there. They searched his house hours before he raped a woman. Okay. There was already 4 bodies in his house buried. 2 to 4 bodies already in his house. Who knows when he did them. They already decomposed. It already smelled bad. So if you're a police officer and you don't know what a dead body smells like, to me, there's something bad here. Obviously, you might have been new. Whatever the situation is, no matter what, you should be a good police officer. And this is where we get into the fact where you got shady police officers, or you got people who just don't give a shit. For this example, when people have been complaining for months upon months about this smell, you think it's a gas thing. Well, you should have had the gas company out there. Just because it was a bad neighborhood, you didn't have police department going out there and helping them out. You had people in the nicer neighborhoods getting more help, and they just kind of put you off just because you're in a worse neighborhood. To me, that's bullcrap. But, and then you also have the fact that a lot of people are trying to say that you need a warrant and blah, blah, blah. There's all this hoops you have to jump through just because they think he's doing anything. Well, he's on probation. He's on house arrest. You don't need a warrant. Just because he's accused of being a sexual offender, that means you could walk into his house any time of day if you're a cop, a public official, and arrest this guy for no reason because he doesn't have that right.
But my thing is, it's like they're talking about his rights and stuff like that, but they're not focused on that when they had these sex offender registries and stuff like that. So I think it can be done. I just think that's a cop-out, honestly. And like they were saying, a lot of people have been complaining about this, and it's to me, I know there's some shadiness going on because they said they searched his house before, right after one of the rapes or something like that. And you mean to tell me if you actually searched his house, you didn't notice that smell, first of all, and you didn't notice that there were bodies in there, and it's just really messed up because, I guess after he raped one of these women, they let him right out, you know what I'm saying? They let him back out on the street and stuff like that. And I heard an interview with one of the, well, it wasn't an interview on Russ Park, but they were playing the interview on there. She wasn't actually being interviewed by Russ Park, but they played how one of the victims, how she said she got away from him, and how he lured her in. He was pretty charming. That's what she said, and I guess he wanted her to come back with him to the house because he wanted to celebrate his birthday and stuff like that. And he seemed normal and stuff, but as soon as he got her in the house, that's when he proceeded on raping her and stuff like that. And I guess he let her go after that. So I guess that's when the investigation started and stuff. So it's just, to me, with this guy's violent history, it shouldn't have gone this long where these bodies been sitting in here for, in some cases, years, So it's just, like I said, it's a problem that we have in our community because we need to get more involved as citizens of our community, because you can't sit around here waiting on these cops and authorities and stuff like that.
No.
Because they don't, I hate to say this, they don't give a shit about our community. You know what I'm saying? They're there to get a paycheck. They're there to cut corners if they have to. And at the end of the day, like I said, they're just there to collect a paycheck. It's not about trying to make a difference. And I'm not talking about all police officers, but
a majority
of them are. And you know, and I know we're gonna get some slack from this, and I don't care. But I'm just saying, this situation proves this point. You know, so.
And really, all this could have been prevented if we would have had more positive, more active police officers, or more positive, more active politicians who actually cared about the community. Which, of course, like Seneca said, that goes back into, you know, needing to have community associations, needing to have people in the community come together and do something and not wait for these police officers to get here. I'm not telling you to go knock on this guy's door and search his house. I'm telling you to contact the proper authorities, contact your proper politician, you know, your mayor's action center, whatever, and get it taken care of. Do not wait around, not really mess around for these police officers who aren't doing their job properly. Which, you know, no offense to any of you who are doing that, I just don't care for you. Right. You know, I need to be protected just as well as the next person, and if you're not doing that, I don't understand why you're there.
And just one more thing is, I mean, this is the important reason why this proves the point. This is why we need to be active in the political process.
Oh yeah.
We have to make sure when we're voting these people into office, we have to make sure that they're taking accountability of what they're doing in office, because, you know, if the only time you're seeing these people out in the community is when it's time to get, you know,
elected.
Yeah. You know, we need to start holding these people accountable, and we need to stop being so passive about it, you know. And I mean, this is just one example of this, you know. So we'll be following this story, and if you guys have any comments, please leave your comments on our page. If you have any other similar stories that you would like to share with us, let us know. You can check us out on MySpace at www.myspace.com/UCOFW, or you can hit us up on YouTube at youtube.com/UCOFW. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you rate this video, and just make sure you just watch all our other videos. Comment. This kind of conversation and dialogue is needed, and this is for you. So feel free to leave us comments, and we will catch you next time.
Alright, and one last thing, I will say, ladies, families, everybody, keep your kids inside sometimes, keep an eye out on them, don't let them run around, because you know there is a lot of websites you can look up and Google it, sex offenders, and it will show you all your local sex offenders in the area. So of course every neighborhood's going to have at least one. So women, you know, don't be going home with random people.
Yeah.
Things like this happen all the time. You know, moms, dads, make sure you keep your kids, you know, safe, or keep an eye on them.
Well, what they were saying too, I'm going to throw this in here real quick. They were saying how some of his victims he found on these dating websites too, from what I've heard. So my thing is, I mean, you're going to run into that problem whether you meet somebody online or out in public. But the thing about it is, online it's easier for you to create an illusion, a false illusion of yourself, when you know you can make yourself be any type of way, you know, online. So you really got to know yourself. We got to know ourselves as a people. We have to know ourselves as a community. We need to know when people are coming into our neighborhoods. We need to know who our neighbors are. We need to know who their children are. We need to just all come together, and you know, like that old saying goes, it takes a village to raise a child. You know, we have to raise these children up. We have to, you know, look out for one another, because obviously, you know, the law, you know, the authorities aren't going to care. You know, they're not looking out for us, so we have to look out for ourselves.
So that if you see, you know, Joe Blow's kid out on the street doing something he shouldn't be doing, or she shouldn't be doing, make sure you call their mom, their dad, or something like that. Be old school with it for one time. Make sure to get these kids out of these drugs and all this crazy stuff. Get these little girls not being raped. You know, help somebody out. And I'm sure it's going to come right back to you.